Hello, high school soccer fans, and welcome. We are here ready to begin the action on the Class 1 District 6 championship game. The Greenwood Blue Jays facing off against the New Heights Cougars. Greenwood is the number 1 seed tonight. The Cougars are the number 2 seed. They'll be in white. Greenwood will be in their royal blue. We are just about ready for announcements and the national anthem. We will let's take a look here at how we got here. We have our district bracket. Fairgrove and Thomas Jefferson opened up the tournament in the play-in game. Fairgrove won 6-1. Fairgrove took Greenwood to a very solid game. Greenwood ended up scoring a goal with about 10 minutes left on a free kick to win 1-0. New Heights came through pretty easily with a 6-0 victory against Lakeway. And that brings us here to the matchup tonight, Greenwood versus New Heights for the District 6 championship. Take a look here at the starting lineup for the Cougars. Hamlin and Thomas will be the outside mids / wings tonight for the Cougars. Liam Nelson's going to play in the back to start, and Meningus is going to be focusing on the Chance Rose, number 11, the attack from the left side. Ben Schumacher and Brandon Schumacher, those defensive mids, will be asked to maintain the middle. The Blue Jays have two solid midfielders, Serrato, number 4, and Andrew Scott, number 8. I'm sorry, number 10. And they do a good job of possessing in the midfield. So the Schumacher brothers will have a challenge to try to win that possession in the middle of the field, distribute the ball up ahead to Perigin in the attacking mid, and then working that false 9, Hudson Clevenger working back to the ball to play that action in the attacking third. We do have a copy of the state bracket. Let's take a look at that. You can see just two districts left to be decided. District 6 is tonight. The winner plays Sacred Heart on the 16th. And then District 4, also playing tonight, will face off against Missouri Military Academy. You can see this is the Missouri Soccer Power Rankings for Class 1. 1 through 5 are all number 1 seeds in their district. They have all advanced. Valley Park, Metro, Missouri Military Academy, Lone Jack, and St. Pius X. The 10th, I guess is what that is in Roman numerals. 6 and 7 have been eliminated. 8 is Sacred Heart. They are the team that the winner of tonight will play. The District 5 champion will play District 6. And then 9 and 10 have also been eliminated tonight, is New Heights ranked 11 and Greenwood ranked 12. All right, we're back to the field for the national anthem. All right, our national anthem was a little bit delayed of the actual on-field anthem. That's why the players had already broke before we finished here, but we have broken the huddles. We are ready to do the kickoff. Ball's in the middle of the field. We have a three-man crew tonight for this district championship game. Let's take a look at that starting lineup again for the Cougars. Hamlin on the left wing. Bennett Thomas on the right wing. Max Anretter, Gavin Dole, Liam Nelson, and Nixon Meningus across the back. Rush Stewart in the goal. Schumacher brothers as the defensive mids. Michael Perigin as the attacking mid, and Hudson Clevenger up top. Cougars will take the opening kick. And just waiting for the whistle, we actually have a little question on the goal. This should have been done in the pregame, but as we saw last game, the goals are 2 yards in front of the American football lines. So that puts the top of the box at exactly the 10 of the football field. Take a moment to introduce you to the starters of the Greenwood Blue Jays. Number 11, Chance Rose on the left side. Rose is a left-footed striker. He likes to work down the left, use the speed to get to an angle. Big physical player also. He has been dealing with some knee injuries, or a knee injury that's been giving him trouble over the last year and a half. He is wearing a brace on that right knee. Number 10, as we had mentioned earlier, Andrew Scott is a midfielder for the Blue Jays. Number 4, Sabes Serrato is another midfielder. Number 30, Taha Khan on the right side. And all the way over on the far side of the field is number 7, Jesse Davis. The keeper for the Blue Jays is Caden Frederick. All right, looks like we got the net issue resolved. And now we are ready to get started with the game. That's the opening whistle, and we're underway. Ball played into the left corner. Cougars trying to trap. Perigin steals. Perigin takes the quick shot, deflection. That's number 15, McQuarrie, clearing it away to the far side. Ball headed into the air. Hamlin there to try to settle. Into the middle of the field, Liam Nelson steps up. Good ball ahead to Clevenger. Clevenger settles, looks to play it through to Perigin at the top of the box. Number 15, McQuarrie again clears it out the sideline. Far side throw in for the Cougars. Kason Hamlin over there to take the throw for the Cougars. Into Perigin. Perigin tries to settle it down. Gets through the traffic, tackled by Monteith, and cleared away with his left. Anretter, good job heading it down, gets to Ben Schumacher. Schumacher down the line to Hamlin. Hamlin carrying. Hamlin turns, plays the drop to Schumacher. Schumacher's able to track to it, over to his brother Brandon. Brandon looking to play the drop, gets challenged. Nelson steps up and plays it into the attack. Clevenger's on the chase, into the box. Clevenger one touch, and the Cougars score the first goal. What a way to start the game for the Cougars. playing off the clear. Nelson all the way up to Clevenger into the box for the goal. See if we got that action on replay. The ball sent in. Clevenger gets it one touch, finds the far post for the goal. All right, back to the live action. Scott in possession in the middle of the field. Ben Schumacher steps, clears away. Monteith plays it back to McQuarrie as he'll chase back on the near side. Clevenger across to Ben Schumacher. Wide of him as it's stolen by the Blue Jays. Clevenger comes in to tackle. Perigin wins it back to Schumacher. Schumacher over his brother Brandon. Brandon with time. Has some challenge from behind. Plays it through, deflected away. Down the line, that looks like it's going to go out. It'll be a Cougars throw. All right, our clock isn't working. Let me see if I can get that fixed real quick. All right, we'll have to do some time adjusting. Chance Rose on the ball, played into the middle. That's to Serrato. Serrato back to Monteith, who sends it over the top. Nelson and number 30, Kahn, challenge for the ball. Nelson's able to clear it away to Perigin in the middle. Big shoulder tackle by Nicholson. Scott makes a move on Schumacher. Nelson comes in, makes the tackle. Nixon, Meningus there, and Rose on the near side. And, oh my goodness. Meningus gets called for a handball. It's a pretty rough call to start the game. Okay, so free kick for Andrew Scott. He's about 30 yards out. Good ball in. Header into trouble. Dole tries to clear, still in trouble. Nelson's there into the attack. Nelson runs out, slide tackle, stolen by Nicholson. Nicholson tries to play it through to Kahn. Enrider there settles it with his knee. Kahn sends it over the top. Number 7, Davies keeps it in. Dole deflects it, and it's out of play. It'll be a corner kick for the Blue Jays. All right, let's see if we can get this clock to the right time. It's 36:30. All right, corner kick for Rose. Spinning ball in. Stewart, good job getting out of the off his line and winning that down. Quick throw out to Schumacher, too far ahead. Nicholson sends it back in. That's to Serrato. Serrato carrying it across. Brandon Schumacher there at the top. Clears it to the near side for Thomas. Thomas is able to settle. Meningus on the overlap. Thomas to Clevenger. Deflected away into the attack. Rose is there. He's able to get to it. Nelson in front defending. Played in. Nelson deflects. Cleared away by Gavin Dole. Clevenger wins it down. Clevenger tries to play it through for Hamlin. Perigin wins it into the attack for Perigin. Monteith comes in and gets the slide tackle at the top and into possession for the Blue Jays. Serrato on the ball. Dropped to Monteith. Played through to Kahn. Dole steps up to challenge. Ball to the near side. Rose connects. Played into the middle. Ben Schumacher's there to steal. Schumacher leaves it for Dole. Dole gets on the ground to Perigin. Back to Schumacher. Schumacher out wide to Hamlin. Hamlin will chase over. Blue Jays steal on the far side. Blue Jays into possession. Nicholson there on the ball. To the near side, Thomas steps in and deflects. Back to the back line for Tricchio. Over to McQuarrie on the near side. McQuarrie switches it to the middle. Good one touch into Nicholson. Nicholson cuts it back on the near side for Scott. Scott carrying down the near side. Meningus steps, goes for the tackle. It's out of play, and it'll be a throw for the Cougars. Nelson takes the quick throw down the line. Tricchio there. Thomas and Tricchio challenge for the ball, and handball called on Thomas. It will be a free kick for the Blue Jays. Quick restart to Rose. Stolen by Perigin. Perigin leaves it for Clevenger. Nicholson clips it back to Rose. Rose and Clevenger challenge. Clevenger goes to ground on the tackle. Still on the ball for Rose. Meningas comes up to pressure. Back to Scott. Brandon Schumacher defending. Gets a touch on the ball. Schumacher still defending. Meningas comes in and clears it away. And it's a throw for the Blue Jays on the near side. Nicholson across the middle. Ben Schumacher comes up and steals to Clevenger. Clevenger looking. Plays it through to Perigin. Ball sneaks through. Monteith is there and clears it out the far side. Ball still in play. Davies there. Gets it high into the air. And flag is up. It's ruled out of play. It will be a throw for the Cougars. Fast moving action so far. 7 minutes, just under 7 minutes in. Cougars leading 1-0. Ball played in to Perigin. Perigin turns, plays it through to Clevenger. Tricio there, heads it. Thomas back to the ball. Sent back into the middle into possession for Scott. Brandon Schumacher defending. Played to Rose on the near side. Rose carrying, plays it across to Serrato. Serrato back into the middle for Monteith. Monteith plays it over the top to the near side for Rose. And Rose tries to reach up and claw it down, but can't get a hold of it. Throwing for the Cougars. Meningas throws it to Thomas on the near side. Thomas, nice move to get around and draws the foul. And it'll be a free kick for the Cougars in the middle third. Perigin takes the free kick, switching the field all the way over to Hamlin. Hamlin gets a touch. Into the attack. Hamlin on the ball. Takes the shot. Deflected. Still loose. And goes out of play. It will be a corner kick for the Cougars. Ben Schumacher hustling over to the far side to take the corner. Ben Schumacher there to take the corner. Good spinning ball in. Clevenger there with the header. And just over the goal. Good opportunity. Clevenger came free. See, he makes that backside run. Perigin comes across to the near post. Clevenger goes back and just sneaks in there. Gets a touch on it. Just sends it over. All right, goal kick for the Blue Jays into the middle for Serrato. Perigin there to challenge. Serrato plays it back to his back line. Sent into the middle for Scott. Scott touches, can't control Brandon Schumacher. One touch to Thomas. Stolen back by the Blue Jays. Nixon Meningas steps up as Rose gets to the ball. Rose carrying to the middle. Drops back to Serrato in the center circle. Back to Scott in possession. Brandon Schumacher in front. Scott dribbling through. Nelson steps up. Plays it to Rose on the near side. Rose is able to keep it in on the end line. Send in the middle. Nelson's able to clear it away. Scott back to the ball with Thomas. Stolen by Perigin. Perigin carrying down the line. Perigin gets a heavy touch ahead. He's still trying to keep it in. Gets it before it goes out. Perigin cuts it back into the box. Perigin making some special moves. Still on the ball. Sends it across. Deflects away by Monteith. Into space for Scott. Scott one touch to Serrato. Ben Schumacher challenges back. Wins it to Brandon. Brandon back to Nelson. Nelson sends it into the air. Hudson Clevenger tries to settle with his chest. Nicholson's able to win it down to McQuarrie. Over to Monteith on the back line. Monteith has time. Clevenger comes up to challenge. Up to Kahn. Stolen by Nelson. Nelson touches to Dole. Dole wide to Ben Schumacher on the chase. Schumacher touches to Hamlin. Not hard enough. Stolen by the Blue Jays. Into the middle of the field for Scott. Switch of the field to Davies on the far side. And too heavy out of play throw in for the Cougars. Ball into the middle of the field. Schumacher chips it over for Perigin. Perigin sends it high into the air. Clevenger tries to settle down. Goes out the near side. It will be a throw for the Blue Jays. Sub at the line to check in for Greenwood Blue Jays. He's playing that right wing position. McCreary takes the throw, gets it to Rose. Played down the line, Meningus is there. Meningus keeps it in play. Drop to Nelson. Nelson carrying across the middle. Nelson driving ball through. Monteith touches it back to the middle of the field. Brandon Schumacher there tries to settle. Serrato challenges. Schumacher there. Back to Nelson. Nelson on the ground to Thomas. McCreary challenges. Thomas is able to win it up ahead. Thomas through to Clevenger. Clevenger into the attack. Clevenger gets tackled by Monteith. And Monteith's able to keep it in on the sideline. Played back into the middle over the top of the front line. Meningus sends it all the way back in. Hamlin there on the backside. Hamlin tracks back to win it. Plays it on the ground to Anreder. Anreder back to Hamlin. Hamlin carrying across. Tries to chip it in for Perigin. Perigin's able to win it. Through to Clevenger, deflected by Sriccio. Nicholson chips away. Schumacher sends it back in. Scott there heads it down. Nicholson there challenging Thomas and Nicholson. Thomas is able to get it to Clevenger through to Perigin. Perigin sets up the shot and sends it over the goal. Perigin, good opportunity there as the ball sneaks through as Clevenger makes this touch. Perigin reads the run, gets that touch, sets up the shot from the top of the box. Just got too much under it and skied it over the goal. 27:30 remaining here in the first half. Cougars leading 1-0. Matthew Monteith back to take the goal kick. Plays it short to McQuarrie. McQuarrie back to Monteith in the middle of the box. Chipped back to the near side. Monteith felt the pressure, just chipped it away. And it'll be a throw for the Cougars. Thomas into Perigin. Perigin being defended. Touches down the line. Perigin still in play. Sent across. Good ball. Backside for Hamlin. And Hamlin with his knee sends it over the goal. Another goal kick for the Blue Jays. Take a look at this ball by Perigin. Hamlin's there onside. And just can't get it on frame. Monteith again will take the goal kick. He'll kick it deep this time. All the way to the near side for Rose. Rose first to touch. Up ahead to Kahn and Nelson. Meningus sends it back to the middle. Rose is there. Rose is able to win it onto the ground. Back to Nicholson. Nicholson on the ground to Serrato in the middle of the field. Over to Rose. Thomas comes up to challenge and deflects it away. Over to Sriccio. Thomas is there to steal. Thomas through to Clevenger again. Clevenger on the attack. Monteith comes in to challenge. Is able to poke it away. Clevenger back, looking for Perigin on the run. Finds Perigin. Gets through. Perigin still on the ball. Sends it back to Clevenger at the top. Clevenger gets the touch. Deflect away. Schumacher there. Off the keeper. And it'll be a corner kick for the Cougars. Ben Schumacher, good strike on that one on the loose ball. Let's take a look at this as the ball comes across Perigin to Clevenger. Clevenger gets a touch. It gets deflected, but Ben Schumacher's there. And the keeper, Frederick, is right there to make the save. Ben Schumacher, low driving ball in, headed into the air by Serrato. Clevenger on the bicycle kick. It's still loose. Thomas there challenging. Cleared away. Brandon Schumacher on the back. Takes the shot, deflected off Scott. And Frederick is able to secure it in the box. Frederick takes his time. Punt away to the near side. Rose is there. High bouncing ball. Rose is able to settle. Brandon Schumacher comes to challenge. To Scott. Scott touches through as Perigin stays on. Back to the middle for Nicholson. Nicholson through to Serrato. Good touch by Serrato. He takes the shot. Stewart can't handle the ball, and that's in the goal. The Blue Jays have answered. Just a sloppy play. And the Blue Jays have answered. Take a look back. That ball sent in by Serrato. Stewart gets two hands on it but can't secure it. That will cost you. All right, 24:15 is the official time on the clock. Restart a play. Clevenger to Perigin. Perigin tries to send it through. Deflected by the Blue Jays into possession. Back to Serrato. That was number 12, Alex Holden, on the far side. Off the market, back into play. Anredder sends it over the top. Headed in the air by Monteith. Thomas comes in, plays it to Perigin. Perigin wins it down. Perigin from deep. Spinning ball in, and Frederick is able to knock it down and get back on top of it. Frederick punts it to the near side. Bouncing ball over top of Schumacher. Rose there to challenge Meningus on the near side. Meningus wins the battle. Into position. Rose is still working. Nelson comes in, makes the tackle, and gets called for the foul. Free kick for the Blue Jays. Take a look back at that on replay. Andrew Scott will take the free kick for the Blue Jays. Four-man wall for the Cougars. Thomas, Dole, Meningus, and Perigin. Blue Jays have 5 in the box, including Monteith. Scott near post, off the post. Brandon Schumacher clears it away. And that's going to be a card for the Blue Jays. Red, straight red. Wow, that's a huge call. Take a look at this on replay. Monteith comes up, throws the leg, and that is just a huge call. 22:35, 33 left in the first half. Blue Jays will be playing with 10 on the straight red for that dangerous play by Matthew Monteith. You restart a play. Nelson takes the kick into the middle of the field. Clevenger there to challenge. Riccio chips it down to Serrato. Serrato into the middle to Scott. Schumacher brothers there to challenge. Brandon's able to poke it away. Brandon Schumacher back to fight for the ball. Still fighting for it. And Schumacher gets called for the foul. Andrew Scott will take the kick. Driving ball in. And deflected away by the Cougars. That'll be a corner kick for the Blue Jays here on the near side. Ball sent in. All the way to the backside. Goes through everyone. Meningus is there. Meningas with his left out the sideline. And they'll go out for a throw for the Blue Jays. Ball back into Scott. Ben Schumacher in front defending. Schumacher steals. Can't keep it in, and it'll be a throw for the Blue Jays on the sideline. Ball back into play. Max Anwender, good job shielding. Goal kick for the Cougars. Ball back into the center of the field. Challenge for the ball, throw in for the Cougars into the attack. Stolen away by the Blue Jays. Perigin there, working back, out of bounds. Throwing for the Cougars again. Perigin with the big throw up ahead to Hamlin. Blue Jays keep it in and then clear it out the corner. It'll be a throw in for the Cougars down in the attacking third. Perigin takes the strike, deflected away. Perigin back to the ball. Challenged by Holden. Hamlin comes in, takes the shot, deflected again. Clevenger trying to fight for it. Scott gets out. Over to Rose. Meningas steps in, wins the ball. Meningas into the attack. Meningas makes another touch, cleared away by McQuarrie. Schumacher wins it. Ben Schumacher on the ball. Leaves it for Perigin. Schumacher on the run through. Perigin sends it. Schumacher there at the top of the box trying to find it. Gets to his left, sweeps it across for Perigin, stolen away by Nicholson. All the way up to Scott. To the near side for Rose. Chance Rose on the run. Played across the field for Serrato. Serrato back to Rose. Meningas is there to read it. Sweeps in, finds Ben Schumacher in the middle. Schumacher plays it to Perigin. Perigin turns. Through for Clevenger. Fredericks up. Clevenger makes a touch. Still on the ball. Takes the shot. And swept away by the Blue Jays. It'll be a corner kick for the Cougars. $18:30 left to play here in the first half. Game tied at 1. Ben Schumacher there to take the corner for the New Heights Cougars. Schumacher driving ball in. And Frederick, good job stepping up, winning that ball before any danger could happen. Frederick punts it high into the air to the near side for Rose. Touched into the middle. All the way across for Kahn. Kahn's able to win it back to the back line. Holden sends it back to the middle. Brandon Schumacher's there, gets the touch. Schumacher makes the fake on Serrato. Serrato pressuring. Schumacher's able to get it through to Clevenger. Clevenger, good ball through to Perigin. Perigin out ahead. Makes the heavy touch. Takes the shot. And wide of the goal. And the Blue Jays survive a good opportunity by the Cougars. Ball back into the top of the box, sent high into the air. Dole heads it down, up to Schumacher. Ben Schumacher carrying, finds Clevenger. Clevenger chips it through, back into the middle. Thomas comes. Street Trio there, plays it in the middle for Serrato. Connects to Rose on the near side. Meningas defending. Rose again on the attack. Meningas steps in, wins the ball, and Meningas gets the yellow card for the challenge. Free kick for Scott. Driving ball too high. Goes over top of everything. And it'll be a goal kick for the Cougars. 15 minutes and 30 seconds left to play. Sorry, I didn't get the clock stopped on that yellow card. So it's actually 16 minutes left to play. And the Cougars will restart with a goal kick. Michael Perigin driving ball through the middle. Sent into the air by Nicholson. Ben Schumacher tries to touch down. Rose has switched over to the far side. Anreder, good step in to win it. Anreder plays it in the middle for Clevenger. Clevenger's able to settle it. Plays it through for Hamlin. Challenge on the ball won by Nicholson. Up to Serrato. Ben Schumacher, I'm sorry, that's Kahn. Up to far side for Rose. Schumacher challenges back to help. Gets it to Scott. Brandon Schumacher comes in, clears it back to Serrato. Serrato chips it back into Rose. Ben Schumacher steps and wins it. Schumacher out in the middle third. Sets up the shot, plays it, or the pass, I should say. Plays it through to Perigin. Perigin deflects. In the attack, McQuarrie's there. McQuarrie back to Frederick. Frederick chips it to the near side. It's number 35. Andrew Davis can't control it. It's out for a throw-in for the Cougars. Ball sent back to the near side for Davis. Bouncing ball over the top, and it'll be another throw-in for the Cougars. Bennett Thomas there to take the throw. McQuarrie steps. Deflected away. Brandon Schumacher tries to send it in. Deflected back by McQuarrie. Bennett Thomas there to win the ball. Thomas wide to Perigin on the near side. Perigin's able to keep it in. Sends it right into McQuarrie again. Perigin gets tackled, and McQuarrie's going to pick up a yellow. Oh, he's not giving him a yellow this time. Okay, so the refs may be getting a little skittish on his early cards. Wall being set up as Perigin's over the ball waiting for the kick. 13:30 on the running clock. Three-man wall for the Blue Jays. Perigin spinning ball in. Clevenger scores it! And the Cougars answer to take the 2-1 lead. $13:19 to play. And the Blue Jays have restarted play. Clevenger comes in, challenges Serrato, drop back to Holden. Stolen by Hamlin. Hamlin carrying across. Falls to Perigin. Perigin through to Clevenger. Clevenger touch into the box. Frederick slides in to clear. Hamlin back to the ball. Slid and cleared away by Holden. Kahn challenges with Perigin. Perigin's able to win it. Holden defending in front. Perigin makes a move to get to the sideline. And Kahn picks up the probably unnecessary foul there on Perigin. It'll be a free kick again for the Cougars. Ref sets the wall. Perigin there to take the kick on the far side. Driving ball in. Frederick's right there to make the save. Frederick punts away high in the air. Brandon Schumacher there. Touches it with his foot and out of play. And it's a throw in for the Blue Jays. McQuarrie takes the throw into Davis. Up to Rose. Schumacher deflects. Rose chips it back. Hudson Clevenger's there to steal. Clevenger tries to play it through. McQuarrie steals. Clevenger wins it back. Oh, my goodness. This ref's got his work cut out for him today. Scott sends the free kick in. Enrider touches away. Serrato takes the shot from distance. And that's off the mark. It'll be a goal kick for the Cougars. Dole back to take the restart. Gets it to Anreder short. Anreder sends it back to the middle of the field. Scott's there to steal. Hamlin comes on the challenge. Gets through. Dole clears it away to the far side. And it's a throw in for the Blue Jays. Ball sent in the middle to Scott. Perigin steals. Scott goes for the tackle. Falls to Thomas. Thomas over the top for Clevenger to chase. Fredericks out of the box. Gets a touch but can't get it in a clear. And Holden's able to get over to it to send it up to Rose. Into the middle for Serrato. Serrato through to Scott. Nelson steals. Scott steals back. 4 defenders for the Cougars. Scott's able to get it over to Davis. I'm sorry, that's number 16. Nelson steps in front on Scott. And Scott picks up the foul. Nelson didn't like what he gave him and turned back to him. Don't know what he said, but restart of play. Ball's loose in the middle. Clevenger there. Clevenger makes a touch ahead. Holden comes in on the tackle. Clevenger chases back. Gets a chip away. Clevenger still on the ball. Holden gets a touch. Clevenger back to it. And knocked out of play by the Blue Jays. It'll be a throw for the Cougars. Clevenger over the top. Tricio wins it down with his chest. Cleared away by Holden all the way to Anreder. Anreder sends it back in on the one touch into the middle. Serrato heads it down. Ben Schumacher comes, wins the ball. Schumacher carrying in space. Serrato tackle from behind. Schumacher's able to stay on it. Rose comes in to challenge, steals, and drops back to Tricio on the back line. Back into the middle, Perigin challenges on Serrato. Over to McQuarrie. McQuarrie back to the middle for Scott. Perigin and Brandon Schumacher challenge. Stolen by Perigin. Perigin tries to play it through, deflected by Tricio. And out of play, throw in for the Cougars on the near side. 8 minutes left to play. Cougars leading 2-1. Ball into Perigin. Perigin chips it into the air, plays it back into the middle. Serrato tries to clear, but right to Ben Schumacher. Serrato goes in on the tackle and plays it out. The end line will be a corner kick for the Cougars. Kason Hamlin is going to take a break as Ruben Brake checks in the game. And Schumacher takes the ball in. Too high, goes over everyone. And out the near side, it'll be a throw for the Blue Jays. McQuarrie into Tricio. Back to McQuarrie. Missed touch. Perigin's there to steal. Perigin looks at his options. Sends it to Clevenger, goes through, and it'll be a goal kick for the Blue Jays. Nicholson takes the restart into the middle of the field. Nelson's there, wins it with his chest. Kahn comes on the challenge. Rose settles down to Scott. Up ahead to Kahn. Nelson challenging back. Into the middle of the field, Schumacher comes in on the tackle. Kahn's able to get to space. Played through. Anredder's there to steal. Sent back in by Serrato. Rose comes over on the challenge with Dole. Rose pokes it away. Anredder there. And foul called on Dole. It'll be a free kick for the Blue Jays. 35 yards out, Andrew Scott on the far side taking the free kick. Ball sent in. Backsides, Rose is there, heads it down on the follow, and Stewart's able to make the save right on the goal line. Good read by Stewart to get back to his line and grab that ball. Rush Stewart punts away to the middle of the field. Curry gets a touchdown, falls to Thomas. Bennett Thomas looking for a spot, finds Clevenger. Clevenger on the near side setting up a switch into the middle of the field. Rose is able to win it. Rose carrying, Ben Schumacher defending. Rose still on the ball, carrying to the far side. Anredder steps into flex. Rose gets the turn. And Ben Schumacher makes the slide tackle to deflect it away. It'll be a corner kick for the Blue Jays. Rose takes the free kick spinning ball in. Goes through the first line. Clevenger comes to head it away. Nicholson gets a touch back in. Peregrina's there. Peregrine touches wide and draws the foul. And a free kick for the Cougars. 4 minutes and 15 seconds to play here in the first half. Cougars leading 2-1. Peregrine driving ball over the top. Cericcio there settles it down with his chest. Serrato with space in the middle. Ben Schumacher comes up to play it. Gets it over to Rose. Peregrine in front. Rose chips it over the top. Keeper comes out. Good communication by Nelson and Stewart. Stewart grabs it at the center of the box. Stewart punts it to the middle of the field. Clevenger's there. Gets the first touchdown. Clevenger sets up a shot. Sends it through to Peregrine. Peregrine gets the touch at the top. Holden's there. Peregrine's still on it. Over to Brake. Brake chips it back to Peregrine. Oh, man. That was a dirty one, too. That'll be a yellow card. The Cougars will get a free kick. That was on Holden. So now the Blue Jays are on a yellow and a red. And the Cougars are on a yellow. It's dark over there on the far side. Clevenger and Thomas are on the back post. Peregrine there to take the kick. Sends it on goal, and Frederick tips it over. It'll be a corner kick for the Cougars. Ben Schumacher over to take the corner. 3 minutes left to play in the first half. Schumacher spinning ball in. Peregrine on the backside gets a touch. Brake tries to follow. Cleared away by the Blue Jays. Brandon Schumacher touches down to Dole. Dole back to Brandon. Brandon over to Michael Peregrine. And another foul, long whistle. That's probably going to be another card. Oh, no, sorry. I thought that long whistle was signifying he was stopping play, but just a regular foul, but it is a free kick for the Cougars. Brandon Schumacher got clawed down from behind there. Perigin takes the restart and sends it over the goal. It'll be a goal kick for the Blue Jays. Restart a play by Nicholson. Ball into the middle. Ben Schumacher's there. Gets a touch to Perigin. Perigin's able to turn. Still on the ball. Chips it over. Straight show heads it down into Serrato. Brandon Schumacher there gets a touch. And another foul on Serrato. And it'll be a free kick for the Cougars. Clevenger there to take the kick this time. Perigin up ahead. Clevenger chips it over to Perigin, trying to find position. Perigin goes down and goes out the end line. It'll be a goal kick for the Blue Jays. 1 minute left to play in the first half. Number 2, Grant Nicholson there to take the restart goal kick. Ball played to the middle of the field. Ben Schumacher heads it to Perigin. Perigin turns to Clevenger. Clevenger turns. Chips it through. Sent into the air. McQuarrie clears. Gets it to Scott. Brandon Schumacher defending. And Scott plays it over the top. Kahn and Nelson there. Nelson steps and wins the ball. Nelson sends it through. Ben Schumacher's there to win it. Schumacher plays it to Perigin. Perigin, good turn. Top of the box shot. And Frederick's right there to make the save. Quickly out to Scott in the middle of the field. Headed forward by Kahn. Meningus clears it out the sideline. And 5 seconds to play here in the first half. McQuarrie takes the quick restart. And that's the halftime whistle. Cougars leading 2-1. All right, we'll get 10 minutes on the clock and get going with halftime. We'll take an audio break here, send you through the first half recap, and we'll be back for the start of the second half. All right, they got me started on a. They got restarted quicker than I was expecting, so we're trying to get back to the scoreboard here. Perigin deflects. McQuarrie sends it wide to the far side, and it's out of bounds, so throw in for the Cougars. Get our scoreboard set. Bennett Thomas takes the throw in down the line to Perigin. Perigin across the box. McQuarrie touches, tries to keep it in, and sends it out the sideline. It will be it was actually deflected by Perigin as a throw for the Blue Jays. Perigin sends it in. Blue Jays step, are able to clear it away. Perigin back to the ball. Through to Thomas, just too far out in front of Thomas. And it'll go out the end line in the corner, or at the sideline in the corner, I should say. And it'll be a throw for the Blue Jays. Go to the back line, and out of play, corner kick for the Cougars. Mistake there by the Blue Jays. Ben Schumacher coming over to take the corner kick for the Cougars. Perigin and Clevenger on the backside. Brandon Schumacher and Kason Hamlin on the top. Ball in the air. Frederick reaches up, gets a touch on it. Perigin on the follow, off the crossbar. And it'll go out of play. Goal kick for the Blue Jays. Boy, Perigin got a good strike on that, but just too high. Hits the crossbar and goes over. Grant Nicholson takes the restart for the Blue Jays. Holden mistouches. Clevenger on the follow. Frederick makes the save. And another corner kick for the Cougars. The corner will be on the near side this time. Ben Schumacher jogging over to take the corner. Thomas near. Clevenger on the backside. Sent into Clevenger. Frederick reaches up, gets a touch on him, but can't control. Perigin there. Perigin trying to find space, still on the ball. Sends it back to Thomas. Thomas scoops it in, and Frederick is there to make the save. Frederick to the top of the box to punt it away. Top spinning ball to the middle. Nelson steps, heads it into the air. Hamlin and Serrato challenge for the ball, and Hamlin gets called for the handball. Free kick for the Blue Jays. Quick restart over to Rose on the near side. Hamlin comes in, dislodges him of the ball. Anredder makes the tackle and wins it off of Rose. Will be a throw for the Cougars. Anredder in. Rose heads it down. Ben Schumacher's there to win it. Schumacher threw for Clevenger. Too heavy. Frederick will let it roll into the box and scoop it up. Frederick throws it out into the middle of the field over top of the first line. Ben Schumacher's there, heads it down. Serrato threw to Perigin. It's a handball, but ref let it be advantage. And it's through into the box for Frederick. Frederick punts it to the middle again. Ben Schumacher again there. Settles into the attack. Through to Clevenger. Clevenger shifts it back to Perigin. Perigin tries to play it through, and it was cleared by McQuarrie, I believe, out of play. Throw in for the Cougars on the far side. Thomas takes the throw into Brandon Schumacher. Sent into the air. Brandon Schumacher gets to Ben. Ben ships it back to the near side for Perigin, or for the far side for Perigin. Perigin over the top to Clevenger, and Frederick's able to step off his line and grab it. Frederick throws it in the middle for Serrato. Tough ball to handle. Serrato's able to control it. Stolen in the middle. Schumacher and McQuarrie. Perigin tries to chip it over for Schumacher, but too heavy, and Frederick's there to scoop it. Frederick back to the middle of the field again. Kahn comes into the middle to get the first touch. Anreiter heads it down. Kahn tries to get it through, deflected by Anreiter to Perigin. Perigin turns. McQuarrie defending. Perigin makes a move. Too heavy on the touch as Nicholson comes in and sweeps it away. And it's another throw-in for the Cougars on the far side. Brandon Schumacher over there to take the throw. Schumacher to Perigin. Perigin plays it forward and all the way into the box. Frederick is there again to scoop it up. Frederick punts back to the middle of the field. Rose is there, goes over Rose. Anreiter heads it back into the middle. Rose steals. Then Schumacher comes in, tries to get a touch. Scott in possession. Scott on the run. Nelson and Schumacher defending. Nelson's able to dislodge him of the ball. Gets it to the near side for Hamlin. Hamlin plays it through. And again, too heavy. Frederick plays it on the ground to Stricchio. Thomas deflects. It's out of bounds on the far side. It'll be a throw for the Blue Jays. Number 7, Jesse Davis takes the throw. Scott the first to touch. McQuarrie steps. Perigin chips it back into Clevenger. Clevenger's able to turn. Plays it through to Thomas on the far side. Thomas sends it across. And too deep again. Frederick is there to grab it. Frederick throws it out again to the middle of the field. Rose first to touch. Can't control. Anreiter's there. Good positioning by Anreiter to win it. Gets it to Hamlin on the near side. Holden comes in on the challenge. Hamlin's able to keep it in play. Across the middle, Ben Schumacher, good touch to turn. Gets to Perigin. Perigin runs through as Clevenger gets back to win it. Clevenger has a player there, just needed to play it back to Anreiter. Clevenger wins it back, though. Cleared away by McQuarrie to the near side, Rose. Rose plays it through for Scott. Dole there and chips it out. It'll be a throw for the Blue Jays in the attacking third. Number 12, Alex Holden, coming down to take the throw for the Blue Jays. Ball into Scott. He's able to settle down. Ben Schumacher defending. Hamlin comes in to help. And knocked out of play by the Cougars. Will be a throw for the Blue Jays. Chance Rose looking to set up a big throw into the box. Rose plays it all the way to the top for Serrato. Perigin's there. He wins it down with his chest. Perigin clears it away over the top. And Frederick comes off his line to play it on the ground. Frederick across the middle to Stricchio. Stricchio to McQuarrie. Perigin comes in, gets a touch. Up ahead, Ben Schumacher steals. Schumacher through to Perigin. Perigin turns. Chipped away by Holden. Perigin chases back. Perigin's able to turn on the near side. Plays it through to Hamlin. And out of play, it's a throw for the Blue Jays. Rose takes the throw into Serrato. Serrato turns. All the way through. Dole chips it into the air. Perigin's there, tries to settle. Serrato and Perigin challenge for the ball. Perigin's able to get to it, plays it through for Clevenger. Clevenger's out ahead. Clevenger on the run. Gets heavy on the touch. He's trying to keep it in on the end line. And he does. It's out of play. It's a throw for the Blue Jays in the corner. Throw in down the line to Serrato. Ben Schumacher steps, wins the ball to Hamlin. Hamlin carrying across. Swept away by the Blue Jays, gets it to Scott at the top. Thomas comes in to challenge. Thomas gets it back to Brandon Schumacher. Tries to find Perigin, stolen by McCready. Over to Rose. Rose back to number 12, Holden. Holden plays it all the way back to Frederick in the box. Clevenger will come in and challenge. Frederick plays it up to McQuarrie. Stolen by Hamlin. Hamlin at the top takes the shot, deflected. And out of play will be a throw in for the Cougars. Ben Schumacher hustling over to take the corner. To take the throw, to Perigin. Perigin on the end line, can't control it. And it's a throw for the Blue Jays, still in the defensive third. Rose, one touch to Nicholson, who sends it into the air. Anreder there with Kahn. Anreder tries to win it down with his head. Kahn chips it over the top. Dole's there to settle. Dole trying to find position, plays it back into the middle. Scott gets a touch. Brandon Schumacher there to help. Thomas wins it back. Ball falls to Serrato. Thomas deflects. Ball's out on the sideline. Be a throw for the Blue Jays. It's Riccio there to take the throw. Over to number 15, McQuarrie. Back to Holden. Hamlin comes in to challenge. Ball's loose. Nelson sends it into the air. Nicholson plays it back into the air. Perigin and Clevenger fighting for position. Serrato's able to clear. Up to Kahn. Dole steps in. Kahn gets a touch. Nelson steps and wins the ball. Back to Scott. Scott being defended by the Schumacher brothers. Brandon Schumacher's able to clear it to Perigin. Perigin over the top for Clevenger on the run. Clevenger still chasing as Fredericks holding his line. And Fredericks able to let it get in the box and pick it up. Ball punted away to the near side. Not a great touch. Hamlin chasing over for it. Hamlin and Rose fight for it. Hamlin's able to keep it in. Serrato comes to help. Scoops it back to Holden. Holden back to Serrato. Into the middle for McQuarrie. McQuarrie makes the switch. Thomas is there to steal. Into Perigin. Perigin in the attack. Plays it through for Clevenger on the slot. Nicholson there to defend. Clevenger trying to get to it on the end line and can't get to it in time. It would be a goal kick for the Blue Jays. Ball into the middle of the field. Nelson's there, wins it down with his chest. Nelson finds Ben Schumacher. Schumacher able to turn. Finds Perigin. Clevenger let it run to Perigin. Jesse Davis there defending. Perigin tries to sneak it through. Perigin into the attack. Still on the ball. Cuts it back into the top of the box. Makes another move. Perigin to the end line. Off of Riccio. And it'll be a corner kick for the Cougars. .27 minutes left to play here in the second half. Cougars leading 2-1. Schumacher to the ball to the backside. And spun out of play before it got back in. It will be a goal kick for the Blue Jays. Ball driven in the middle of the field. Schumacher's there, gets the touch to settle. Finds Perigin. Perigin through to Clevenger. Nicholson was there to sweep it away. Back into the counter. Anreder chips it back to Ben Schumacher. Serrato chasing. Schumacher's able to win to space. Over to Perigin. Perigin chips it back to Schumacher. He can't get to it as Serrato clears it away. Over to Rose on the near side. Into Serrato in the middle of the field. Anreder in front. Back to Rose. Loose in the middle. Brandon Schumacher plays it up to his brother Ben. Ben plays it through. Nicholson touches. And Fredericks in the box, able to scoop it up. Frederick again punts it to the middle of the field. Ben Schumacher again there, wins it down with his chest, but can't control. Serrato steals up to Rose. Rose into the attack. Plays a good ball through to Kahn, but too heavy. Stewart late getting off his line, but is able to get there in time. And punts it away. Clevenger tries to turn. Nicholson steals, plays it near to Rose, but too heavy. And that's going to go out of play. It'll be a throw for the Cougars. Anretter takes the throw down the line. Can't keep it in. Throw for the Blue Jays. Chance Rose takes the throw into the middle. Finds Scott. Clevenger steals. Clevenger out on the attack. Cuts it back. Scott steals it back. And we're going to stop the clock. I'm not sure what happened to Rose. Or I mean to Chance Rose. He's limping. I don't know if he got hit in the unmentionables or if he's, yeah, that looks like what happened. So be a restart for the Cougars. And they're just going to send it back to the keeper to do the restart. Frederick punts it back into the middle. Ben Schumacher there gets a touchdown to Perigin. Perigin's able to turn, finds Clevenger. Oh, McQuarrie actually steps in and steals. Up to Rose on the near side. Rose being challenged by Anretter. Plays it through. Stewart chases. And Stewart's able to get it on the backside of the goal to kill the threat. Ball out to the far side. Perigin gets a touch ahead, trying to keep it in on the sideline, and can't quite get there. It'll be a throw for the Blue Jays. Ball back to Nicholson. Nicholson in the middle for Serrato. Serrato gets a touch past Hamlin. Serrato with space in the middle. Schumacher comes to challenge. Anretter wins it. Anretter on the ground to Hamlin. Hamlin tries to open up and can't control it. It's a throw in for the Blue Jays. Oh, actually, Hamlin was able to win it off of Holden. Gets the throw in quickly into the attack. Clevenger plays it down to Perigin. And Perigin's called for offside. See if we got that on replay. Oh, man. It's a terrible call. It's 2 yards onside. Restart for the Blue Jays. Anretter chasing with Rose. Rose is able to get there. Rose cuts it back. Getting to his left. Oh, nice tackle. And Anretter sweeps it away. It'll be a throw for the Blue Jays. Holden makes the throw in. Ben Schumacher first to touch. Serrato back to the ball. Back to McQuarrie. McQuarrie back to Riccio on the back line. Riccio across the middle. Perigin deflects. Serrato can't control it. Hamlin plays it through, but too heavy. And Fredericks there. Steps off his line. Gets it back to Holden. Holden pokes it through. Ben Schumacher with space in the middle. Schumacher finds Clevenger. 1-2 back to Schumacher. Schumacher into the attack. Makes a move to the top. Schumacher still on the ball. Finds Perigin. Perigin tries to poke it through. Thomas on the follow. Thomas holds. Gets it back to Schumacher. Lets it run to Clevenger. Clevenger near post. Just wide of the frame. That'll be another goal kick for the Blue Jays. Ball restarted to Rose. Rose can't control it. Ben Schumacher's there to steal. Finds Perigin. Perigin letting it run. Cuts it back. Perigin takes the strike. And right at Frederick. Bounces off his chest. Frederick's able to get back to it. Frederick punts it back to the middle of the field. Perigin with his chest. Scott's able to step in and steal. Scott plays it through to Rose. Backside for Meningus. Meningus chips it up to Ben Schumacher. Schumacher on the ground to Perigin. Perigin tries to turn. Still on the ball. Rose defending. Perigin plays it through for Clevenger. Chipped into the air. Thomas comes on. Clevenger and Thomas. Nicholson deflects and McQuarrie chips it away right to Rose. Rose into the attack. Ben Schumacher defending. Too heavy on the touch. Nelson pokes it away. All the way through. Oh, miscommunication by the Cougars. Ben Schumacher's there to steal. Over to his brother Brandon. Brandon takes the through ball. Nobody's making the run. And Cerritrio lets it roll all the way into the box for Frederick. Frederick punts it to the far side, goes past Schumacher, and Meningus is there, plays it high into the air. Cerritrio tries to get a touch, bounces off of him, takes it to the sideline. Thomas and Clevenger in front. Cerritrio is able to get it into the air. Brandon Schumacher there sweeps it away, and it's a throw in for the Blue Jays on the far side. Cerritrio takes the throw to McQuarrie. Thomas steps in, deflects to Clevenger. Clevenger 1-on-3, cuts it back, finds Perigin. Perigin, good touch. Into the box, Perigin makes a move. Makes another move. Across the box, deflected by the Blue Jays. And all the way up to Rose. Ball into the middle of the field, played through. Anredder gets a touch. Over to Serrato. Anredder deflects. Serrato plays it through as Dole's there. Nelson wins the ball, plays it ahead. Sent back in by Holden. Rose on the backside, lets it roll. Rose is able to get to it. Meningus defending. Rose takes the strike off the post. Meningus clears it away. Serrato and Hamlin chasing for the ball. All the way back to Holden. Holden in the middle. Clevenger deflects. Back to Nicholson. Nicholson with space and time. Perigin deflects. Falls to Ben Schumacher. Schumacher pokes through. Cerritrio can't handle it. Clevenger on the chase. Clevenger gets there first. Makes a touch. Clevenger with a shot. And the goal. And the Cougars take the 3-1 lead. Hudson Clevenger just outworking everybody. Finds the back of the net. Frederick, feels like Frederick probably should have come out on that. He went back as Cerritrio was chasing. And Clevenger, great touch to get the finish. And the Cougars, after a lot of opportunities, finally convert. And they take the 3-1 lead. Blue Jays restart, 3-1. Now the score. Holden to Perigin. Perigin steals, tries to get through. Nicholson, good job deflecting. That was almost another good goal scoring opportunity for the Cougars. Hamlin up to Perigin. Perigin takes the push in the back by Holden. And dangerous spot for a free kick for the Cougars. Perigin takes a quick start. Frederick can't control the first touch, but is able to get back to it. Throws it out to the middle. Scott can't control it. Brandon Schumacher touches it back in. Clevenger tries to turn. Deflects away to Perigin. Perigin over to Thomas on the far side. Thomas dribbles across. Finds Clevenger at the top. Clevenger settles, takes the strike. Deflected again by Nicholson. Ball falls to space to Serrato. Brandon Schumacher defending. Serrato still out. Finds Rose on the near side. Rose through to Kahn. Dole defending one-on-one with Kahn. Kahn cuts it back. Serrato takes the shot. And Nelson comes in, makes a late challenge. Nelson can't be that careless. He could have easily picked up a yellow there on that late chance. Let's see if we can look at that again. Looks like Nelson kind of pushes him off at the end. It's going to be a corner kick for the Blue Jays either way. Restart of play. Ball goes all the way through. Looks like it was the Cougars to touch. Stewart did a good job coming off his line again, but looked like multiple Cougars challenged for the ball. Let's see. Okay, yeah, just Stewart's there. He's just got to ask for the ball. All right, restart on the backside. Ball sent in. Meningus heads it away. Serrato there, deflected by the Cougars, still trying to clear. And the Cougars are able to get it out. Hamlin cuts it back. Hamlin into possession. Plays it across. Holden steps in, sends it back in. Brandon Schumacher clears it away. McQuarrie plays it in as Meningus is able to win it and clear it out the sideline on the far side. It'll be a throw for the Blue Jays. 16:30 to play. Cougars leading 3-1. Scott there at the top. Scott takes the shot, deflected by Perigin. Thomas trying to find his feet. Drops it back to Meningas. Meningas sends it through. Clevenger tries to get a touch ahead. Cerricio, good job stepping to win. Cerricio plays it on the ground through. Nobody's there. Meningas clears. Over to Thomas. Thomas on the far side. Carries wide as Scott challenges. Thomas out ahead. Goes in on the slide. Stolen by McQuarrie. McQuarrie up to Rose. Over to Scott. Brandon Schumacher defending. Scott turns. Sends it across the box. Kahn's there. Ball goes over the top. Rose chases to it. Ben Schumacher defending. Rose gets a touch to his left. Takes the shot. And what a save by Rush Stewart. Great ball by Rose, but Stewart's up to the challenge. You can see near post, and Stewart knocks it down. All right, back to live action. Ball into the attack. Chase on the far side. Cerricio and Perigin challenge for the ball. Perigin takes the throw into the top of the box. Nicholson and Clevenger. Clevenger finds possession, but gets called for the push. It'll be a free kick for the Blue Jays. Restart a play for the Blue Jays. Played into the middle for Serrato. Over to McQuarrie, back to Serrato in the middle. Played through all the way up to Rose. Serrato carrying down the line as Hamlin comes to challenge. Hamlin's able to get him to turn back. Over to McQuarrie. Clevenger comes in and challenges the ball out of play. It'll be a throw for the Blue Jays. Quickly back in and back to the back line to Nicholson. Nicholson switching the field over to Davies. Missed touch as Clevenger steals. Clevenger gives it to Perigin. Perigin chips it over the top for Clevenger to chase. Ball's at the top of the box. Nicholson is able to get to it and clear it out the sideline. Good play by Nicholson. Awareness to win the ball and then play it out. Hamlin takes the throw in for the Cougars. Gets it to Perigin. Perigin on the turn. Gets past Holden. Perigin makes another move. Nicholson chips him away. And it's a out of play on the Cougars. It'll be a throw in for the Blue Jays. Ball back into the middle. Scott's able to receive it. Brandon Schumacher comes to pressure. Stolen by the Cougars. Schumacher plays it across. Blue Jays are able to come in and clear. Meningas shielding on Davies, and the ball's out of play. It'll be a throw for the Cougars. Meningas on the far side gets it back into Brandon Schumacher. Schumacher drops it all the way back to Dole. Dole launches it into the air to the far side for Thomas. Thomas and Davies challenge. Davies wins it forward to Scott. Scott down the line, can't keep it in play. And it'll be a throw again for the Cougars. Under 13 minutes to play. Cougars leading 3-1 here in this Class 1 District 6 championship game. Ball into the middle of the field for Kahn. Nelson there to defend. Nelson plays it high into the air. He's able to get back to the ball. Kahn comes back to challenge also. Nelson wins it down, but Scott plays it through. Over to Rose on the near side. Anreder challenges. Dole's there in front. Rose wants to get to his left. Dribbling him down, gets to his left. Hamlin comes in to help, and Hamlin's able to clear it away. Back to McQuarrie. Sent back in. Dole rises up, gets a touch on it. Over to Anreder. Anreder and Hamlin there. And Hamlin plays it out on the sideline. It'll be a throw for the Blue Jays. Good help by Hamlin on that last play as Rose was trying to get to his left. Hamlin came in and took it away. Rose sends it into the top of the box. Dole smartly clears it away again. Ball back to the top. McQuarrie tries to get through. Deflected by Ben Schumacher. Falling for Perigin. Perigin trying to find space. Dangerous play by Perigin. He's able to send it for Clevenger. Clevenger's on. He's out on the attack to the top of the box. Oh, too heavy on the touch. And Clevenger loses his feet. And Frederick is there to scoop it up. Frederick into the middle of the field. Perigin there all alone. He's able to win it. Perigin setting it up. Makes a touch through. Perigin on the attack. Makes the run with Clevenger. Finds Hamlin. Hamlin with his left takes the shot, and Frederick is there to make the save. Ball back to the middle of the field. Anretter is there, gets a touchdown to the middle. Ben Schumacher chases to the center circle, plays it back to Meningas. Meningas one touch over the top. Holden there, gets a touch. Ball's loose, chips it through. Finds Scott. Deflected by Perigin over to the near side. Cleared out by Anretter. It'll be a throw for the Blue Jays. Chance Rose there to take the throw. Up to Kahn. Back to Rose. Rose across to Serrato. Ben Schumacher comes in, is able to dislodge. And the Cougars let it get into the box for Stewart to get on top of. Stewart punts to the near side for Hamlin. Hamlin leaves it for Clevenger in the middle. Tries to play it through, deflected. Perigin's back to it. Perigin into the back line. Makes a move on Sriracho. Tries to back heel it to Thomas, but that's off the mark. And it'll be a throw for the Blue Jays on the far side. Ball played back into Nicholson. Nicholson into the middle of the field. Ben Schumacher's there. He wins it down with his chest. Too heavy on the touches. Serrato comes in, gets it back to Rose. Nelson, good step to win it in the middle of the field. Tries to find Clevenger off the mark, and Nicholson clears it away. There'll be a throw for the Cougars on the near side. There's a player down on the field. Looks like he's cramping up. Ref has stopped the clock to attend to him, and they're going to make a sub. That's Serrato. Blue Jays have done a heck of a job to stay in this game playing with 10 men. The ball's going to restart with a throw-in for the Cougars. See if we can find that last goal by the Cougars. Right here as Clevenger's able to get out in front. All right, 9:30 to play. Restart of play will be with the throw-in for the Cougars here on the near side. Michael Perigin there to take the throw. Perigin into the corner. Cleared away by Nicholson. Still in play and finally out. It'll be a throw for the Cougars again. Hamlin takes the throw to Perigin. Perigin makes a move. Takes the shot. Far post! And off the crossbar. Goal kick for the Blue Jays. Serrato is back in the game. Nicholson takes the restart, gets it to Scott. Perigin steals. Perigin in the attack. Makes a touch ahead. Holden's there, clears it away. Missed touch. Clevenger steals, gets it over to Thomas on the far side. Thomas looking across, has time, plays it to Clevenger at the top. Clevenger touches into the box, being challenged by McQuarrie. Back to Brandon Schumacher. Schumacher lets it run. Has a challenge coming, finds Ben Schumacher. Ben into the attack, looking for Perigin, takes the shot with his left. And Frederick is there to make the save. Frederick throws it out to the middle, rolls through, all the way back to the back line for Meningas. Meningas one touch into Perigin. Can't control it as McQuarrie is there. Hamlin comes on the challenge. Hamlin gets a touch. Still on the challenge. McQuarrie is able to win it back. McQuarrie out to the near side for Rose. Rose drops it back to Holden. Into the middle. McQuarrie again sends it into the air. Dolan Kahn challenge for the ball. Meningas there sweeps it away to the near side. Anredder tries to win it down. Rose challenging. Rose chips it back in the middle for Scott. Scott heads it over to the far side. Back to Scott. Back to Serrato. Takes the strike with his left. And over the goal. Will be a goal kick for the Cougars. Perigin back to take the kick. Driving ball up ahead all the way to Clevenger. Clevenger settles it with his chest. Looking to turn. Clevenger to the near side. Still on the ball. Clevenger drops for Perigin. Perigin sends it over the top. Nicholson there is going to let it run. Schumacher's going to chase. And Frederick is able to get to it. Sends it to the middle. Perigin steals. Perigin gets a touch ahead. Another touch. Perigin still in the ball. Tries to slide it through. And cleared away by the Blue Jays. And Perigin gets called for the foul. .6:30 to play. Blue Jays get the free kick. Driving ball ahead. Nelson heads it back into the action. McQuarrie misjudges the ball. Fighting back for it. Hamlin steps in. Gets a touch. Ball falls to McQuarrie, who sends it over the top. Kahn and Dole there to challenge. Dole gets a touchdown. Nelson comes over on the side, and Nelson picks up the foul. Be a free kick for the Blue Jays. Andrew Scott there to take the kick. Straight comes up and into the attack. Low ball deflected in by the wall. Brandon Schumacher there to deflect. Sent back in. Over the top. Serrato's there, but Stewart comes off his line and is able to scoop it up. Stewart, patience as Serrato's getting back. Played to the far side. Thomas tries to settle it down with Davies. Jesse Davies able to win it back to Serrato. Over to Nicholson. To the near side for Rose. Ben Schumacher comes to challenge. Rose plays it back to Holden. Back to Rose. Rose is able to keep it in. Actually, no. It's out of play, and it'll be a throw for the Cougars. Ball in play, so they're going to wait for the ball to get out before we restart. Schumacher leaves it for Perigin. Perigin sends it through. Nicholson there. Clevenger on the run. Frederick can't handle it. Clevenger wins the ball and can't get it on frame. Goal kick for the Blue Jays. Clevenger, great job hustling to that ball. Frederick mishandled it off of the deflection by Nicholson. And Clevenger was right there, tried to take it off that bounce and send it in, and just puts it wide open goal for him. Restart a play in the middle. Serrato's there, plays it ahead to the near side for Rose. Anredder and Rose chase. Rose is able to keep it in as Anredder's pressuring. Rose tries to send it across. It'll be a corner kick for the Blue Jays. Chance Rose will take the corner of the left-footed striker. Rose takes the ball in. It's loose. Stewart's on the ground. And it's a throw-in on the far side for the Blue Jays. Not sure what happened there that put Stewart on the ground, but Cougars were able to clear. Meningas, good job winning the ball in the middle. Finds Perigin on the turn. Hamlin's running. Sent up to the middle. Holden wins it down. Holden sends it back in. Stewart reads the hop and almost goes over his head. So good job getting up to win it. 3:30 to play. 3-1 lead for the Cougars. Stewart punts it away. Clevenger first to touch, gets it to Thomas. Thomas back to the middle, stolen by McQuarrie. Thomas steals it back with space. Thomas making the run, looking for Hamlin. Good ball through. Hamlin chasing Frederick there at the top of the box, clears it away. Right to Perigin. Frederick's out. And Perigin can't get a clean strike on it. It goes well wide of the frame. It will be a goal kick for the Blue Jays. Under 3 to play. Nicholson takes the restart. Perigin heads it back to Thomas. Thomas able to turn, chips it through to Clevenger. Clevenger opens up. Clevenger on the ball, leaves it for Perigin. Perigin in the box. Perigin still on the ball, looking for the drop, finds, back heel in the middle. Nobody's there to connect. It looked like Schumacher was there, but he couldn't get to it. All the way up to the middle of the field. Too heavy on the touch by Rose. Ben Schumacher's there, deflects it ahead. Back to Clevenger. Clevenger at the top. Finds Thomas. Too wide as Thomas will chase to the corner. Thomas back on the ball, gets it back to Clevenger. Clevenger takes the strike and gets underneath it, sends it over the top for a goal kick for the Blue Jays. Just over 2 minutes to play. Blue Jays restart play. Ben Schumacher wins it in the middle. Up to Perigin. Perigin opens up. Tries to cut it back. Serrato deflects. Serrato's able to keep it in. Actually, nope, flag is up. Out of play on the sideline. Perigin looking to play it down the line for Hamlin. Sent away by Holden. It'll be another throw in for the Cougars. Hamlin into Clevenger. Clevenger back to, Perigin into Clevenger. Foul called on Serrato. It'll be a free kick for the Cougars. Just about 20 yards out at the top of the box. Clevenger and Perigin there on the ball. Clevenger chips it to Perigin. Perigin going to stall in the corner. And knocked out of play by Holden. It'll be a throw for the Cougars. 1 minute to play. Clevenger takes a throw across. Brandon Schumacher tries to touch it in. And it's out of play on the end line. Goal kick again for the Blue Jays. Nicholson takes the restart into the middle of the field. Ball goes through the first line. Nelson's there. Knocked out of play by the Blue Jays. Another throw for the Cougars. Cougars trying to eat away the seconds of the game. Nelson plays it back in the middle with a lot of space for Ben Schumacher. Schumacher's able to win it. In a possession in the middle, back to Clevenger. Clevenger off the mark, stolen by the Blue Jays back into the middle. And under 10 seconds to play, that ball is going to go out of bounds, and that should do it. The Cougars are victorious. Final score, New Heights Cougars 3, Greenwood Blue Jays 1, and the Cougars are Class 1 District 6 champions. We'll stay here live while we do the trophy presentation.
Lap 1 District 6 champion. New height.
Thanks. Thanks, appreciate it.